Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, guten morgen, bonjour, good morning, good morning, good morning, and a very good morning to our Polish friends in the local community. And I'm so sorry about the result, but did you really lose? You just ran out of time, didn't you? It's really frustrating. Really rooting for you guys out there. With so many in the Polish community here, so it was unfortunate, but it was a good game. So how are you today? First things first today, the lockdown continues. How frustrating is that? We see them in the G7 meeting, don't we? All arm to arm and drinking and jolly, just got off a jet, and yet weddings are not okay. And, you know, it's so frustrating for people. But it is what it is. We've got another month of this. The good news is that the vaccines seem effective against the Delta variant, which is great news. So if you've had 2 jabs, you're pretty much safe from it. There's still a percentage chance you get it, of course, but it's much reduced. So hopefully we can get the rest of the young people vaccinated and the risk lowered even further. So yeah, looking forward to that. Yesterday was the Grenfell anniversary as well. Didn't talk enough about that. And I noticed the Labour Party of the Shadow Housing Secretary and MP for Manchester Central writes in The Independent on the Grenfell Tower fire. She says the proposal for a task force to grit the issue would drive forward Labour's 6 demands for safer homes, including immediate upfront payment to remove deadly cladding to other urgent fire safety work. I mean, that makes sense to me. And legislation to protect residents from exorbitant bills, safeguarding leaseholders and taxpayers. I don't quite see how they would do that. I'm not sure about the mechanics of that, exactly how it could be put into place, but more for anything that makes it safer and easier for the poor leaseholders caught up in that tragedy. Apart from that, bosses are keener for office to return than staff. Who knew that the bosses wanted people back and people want to stay at home and work from home? It was always going to come, wasn't it? We said for a long time that, you know, a lot of people said, oh, we're going to move out, we're going to telecommute for the rest of our lives. And the truth is that for many of us, working together as a group is quite critical to actually have people in the office to bounce off next to each other, not just on a Zoom call, especially in a sales environment particularly. So it'd be interesting to see how the dynamic of that matches up to London coming back together and starting to release over the next few months. So really intrigued to see how that works. Of course, I should say as well, we now have 16 days until the first stamp duty deadline and the saving of 15,000 potentially. And we are on course, actually, for most of our sales to meet that deadline, the ones that can and want to and are likely to, pretty much over the line. Just a few more we've got to push over, which we're working on over the next few days. If you're in that situation, then all I can advise is try and get hold of your solicitors, make sure there's nothing outstanding from you, get hold of your agents, make sure everything's done that can be done, get hold of your buyers, make sure that they're ready, make sure they've got their contract, make sure the money is with their solicitor, just make sure it's all done, because we are at a point now where we're 2 weeks from that deadline. So realistically, you should be exchanging now. The average time between an exchange of contracts, which is where you put your deposit down, and the completion of a sale is exactly 2 weeks. So you should really be looking now to exchange contracts with some urgency. And solicitors are going to be busy, agents are going to be busy, but you know what? You got to be pushy. You got to get yourself out there. If you're an agent, you should be pushing for your clients ahead of others. If you're an individual, you should be pushing for your agent and your solicitor to make sure that your interests are protected. And especially when it comes to buyers, if you're a buyer, you need to make sure that deposit is in place, the mortgage is there, your solicitor's ready to go, you've signed that contract, and the monies are with the solicitor for the exchange of contracts. So good luck to you if you're in that position. Certainly we know lots of people are. Something else that caught my eye today was on tax. And this is something I've said for a while now. There's a real inequality in council tax, don't you think? And it's something that's been picked up in City AM. And they're saying Kensington and Chelsea, the average house costs 1.2 million. And the residents enjoy the lowest council tax bills, which average £1,500 per year in Kensington and Chelsea, given the properties are 1.2 million. And then you compare that to County Durham, average house price, 112,000. Council tax, 2,500 a year on average. It's just not right, is it? And then you go to Westminster, the average council tax is 945 with an average price of £1 million. And then you've got Hartlepool, where it's £2,528 a year for council tax, and the average price is 115,000. This cannot be right, can it? Somebody needs to legislate. Absolutely crazy. Another article in the Scotsman I saw, which I thought was quite prescient, and that's about capital gains tax. We know that somehow people are going to want to try, and the government are going to want to try and get what taxes back they can to try and pay for the pandemic. And capital gains tax is likely to be on that agenda. And the article states that CGT is highly likely to come under scrutiny in the not too distant future as the UK foots the bill for the pandemic. I think that's true and something to watch out for. We certainly expect that to happen. Apart from that, how are you today? You doing well? Hope so. The weather here in Southwest 16 is kind of grey and overcast, but lovely and warm. Still a gorgeous day, really. I like it when it's slightly overcast, but quite pleasant out, you know? So I hope you have a great day today. We'll be back tomorrow with another Ken at 10. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you to all of our subscribers there. We've just hit 1,500, so thank you very much. If you're watching for the first time, please do hit the like and subscribe button and share. That helps us to grow our channel, and we're always ever so grateful for you, our viewers and listeners. Until tomorrow, stay safe, look after your family and friends, and have a fantastic day.